Hey, what's up? It's David Long here. Today we're going to be going over the 2023 Fit Bike Co. Series 1 Complete BMX bike. All right, moving straight into it. We're going to start from the front, move to the back of the bicycle. We're going to start with the grips that are on here. These are the Fit CrossFit grips. Now the design on these, it's a flangeless design, meaning it doesn't have the donut right here. Sleek look. The design of the actual pattern on here is very reminiscent of the mid-school era Fit Edwin grips. Okay, so a lot of people are going to be stoked to feel those out. They were definitely a best-selling grip for a long time. All right, moving into the lever, the brake lever. This is, I don't think a name brand lever or anything. However, it's a very smooth pulling lever, good for 2-finger braking or 1-finger braking, whichever you choose. It doesn't feel like it would give you any blisters or anything. So that's a win when it comes to brake levers, all right? Onto the handlebars. These are Fit handlebars with some nice graphics that match the rest of the bike. We'll touch more on the graphics. I'm definitely stoked on the colorway of this bike, the graphics and everything else. However, these bars are 29 inches wide and 8.7 rise. So that means 8 inches, 0.7 tall, 29 inches wide. Looks like there's a little bit of room right here to, if you wanted to cut the bars on the end to make it easier for bar spins or X-ups, a little bit more clearance, then you could easily do that and still keep your brake lever on the flat portion of the bar. All right, moving on to the stem. This is a Fit Bike Co. top load stem. I couldn't really find any geometry on the reach of the stem. However, it's just a good looking stem. I love the silver on it. It says Fit Bike Co. right here on the top cap. And anytime somebody's looking at your bike, you got a nice looking stem. Yeah, that's a cool feeling for sure. All right, on the bottom of it, I believe it says FBC as well. So even if you flip over your handlebars, you're still gonna look fly. All right, moving on to the headset. This is a headset. It's an older press-in model. Older style press-in model headset. I'm not sure if that's a loose ball bearing in there or not. However, for my son's needs and his first 20-inch BMX bicycle, it's going to do the job. It did the job for a lot of us growing up and will continue to do the job for the next generation. All right. So, but for the more advanced BMX bicycles, once you start getting out of entry-level BMX bicycles and into aftermarket parts or anything like that, this black portion will actually be integrated into the frame build, into the head tube build, which is this portion, and the bearings would actually just kind of push into there. These are actually press-in bearing caps, okay? Moving on to the forks. These are Fit Bike Co. forks. Some nice key graphics on it to match the head tube. They are a chromoly steer tube inside of here and a 33 millimeter offset. So what does that mean? 33 millimeter is on the kind of more raked out version or the raked out side of things. So a lot of forks go from 15 to 33, 35 is maybe the max. Now the 33 means that it's widening your wheelbase. From widening your wheelbase, if this is more raked out. So that's going to be better for high-speed type of riding, for trail riding, for park riding. And if it was further raked in towards the 25s or the 15s or anything like that, then that's going to shorten your wheelbase, which makes it a little bit easier for spins or really technical street riding or anything like that. So these are 33s, excuse me. Moving on to the wheels. These are Fit Bike Co. 2.4 tires. I absolutely love the single pinstripe tan on here. Okay, so a lot of tan walls actually cover the whole thing, but I'm just really into this individual line. I think it definitely matches with the theme of the bike. The color on all of this is what they call hot rod red, and I think that the pinstripe goes with that for sure. It definitely pushes the moniker of the hot rod, and this thing, looking at it, looks like a hot rod. So definitely stoked on that. The front hub is an unsealed front hub with male bolts to match the back wheel that we'll get to in a bit. The rim, good looking black rim. I believe this is the S1W front rim. But yeah, just a good looking front wheel. Yeah, love the tires. I think that it matches the overall look of the bike. All right. So moving into the frame. All right, the main portion of the bike. I love the old school, mid school Fit Key logo is what this is called. I love the two-tone. The yellow and the chrome just absolutely pops against the hot rod red colorway. And you can see that on the other stickers as well, which is such a retro look, as a Series 1 sticker on the C-tube as well. Going into the geometry of this frame, this is the Fit Bike Co. Series 1 SM, if you were to look it up online. So that means it's the smaller of them. So I believe that there's a couple of different sizes of the Series 1. And this is the smallest one at 20.25 top tube. The head tube, the angle of the head tube is 75.5. So that's a little bit on the steeper side, but given the forks are kind of more raked out at 33, I think it balances it out and makes it a good jumping bike, good park bike, and doesn't make anything too twitchy. If that was 75.5 and the forks were 25s or anything, then that would definitely be more on the very responsive park or street riding. All right. The rear end on this bike is 1311, which is proportional for this bike. Now I think that a lot of full-size frames are close to that, smaller than that, maybe a little bit bigger than that. However, for this bike, that's very proportional and should still be pretty good for pulling up into manual, and also just proportionally keeping the wheelbase at a good point. Moving on to the seat. Yeah, if you watched the unboxing video, I was stoked on that seat when it came in. It is a one-piece combo seat from the padded seat, and the combo is one piece. It doesn't have the hole in the top for adjustment, which to some might be kind of a bummer, but this one has a good angle on it. It's not too laid back or anything. It's got a nice angle that looks pretty sharp on the bike. I believe it's a little bit lighter, and there is a pretty cool emboss here, engravement, whatever you want to call it. It says Fit, and it's just a nice looking brown leather saddle. All right. Moving on to the drivetrain. Okay, so we have just a regular full link chain, not a half link chain. However, I can see right here it has the master link, and that's pretty easy for adjustment or anything like that. If you need to pop a chain off, the master link is a lot easier than having a chain breaker and doing all the measurements for that. All right, so full link chain on here. The 25 tooth Fit key sprocket. That's pretty cool. Like I said, that matches the logos everywhere else, but the key logo is Fit's original logo that, you know, a lot of us saw when the brand first came out, so it's kind of nostalgic for us. So love that in black as well. Cranks, these are 3-piece chromoly cranks at 160 millimeter length. That's a good length for any kid. That would probably be right for their size and everything for an adult. Even 160s are pretty good for people that are looking to improve their bunny hops and to bring their stance a little bit closer. So originally a lot of cranks were 175s and 180s, and you know, that was kind of the standard. But for 160s and 165s, which have become a more commonplace, it brings your feet just a little bit closer together, gives you a little bit more of a natural stance, So you should be able to hop higher, spin faster. And I think a lot of people are adopting that. So that's cool that these actually have 160s on here. All right. Moving into the brakes, these are just regular old U brakes. However, like I said, these things grab up. I'm not sure what pads are on here, but yeah, I would trust these for some Bubanoos, for Abubicas, whatever. Straight out of the box. These things are pretty good. All right. On to the back wheel. Same tire as the front, 2.4 with that really nice pinstripe tan wall. And the hub. The hub is a sealed hub in comparison to the unsealed front hub, which is good because your rear hub is going to take a lot more torque based off of the drivetrain and just tail taps and landing back tire, front tire, and all that stuff. So it's good that that's a upgraded hub in the rear. It's got a 9-tooth driver on it, and it's a male hub. So same bolt in the rear and the front. So you only need one tool to be able to work on both of your wheels. So that's pretty cool. Same rim as the front. I believe it was the Fit S1W wheel. You can look that one up online if you want more specs on that. However, I don't think that it's probably one of their higher level rims or anything like that. But for, like I said, for what my son's gonna be riding on this bike, it's gonna be more than awesome. Moving back to the middle a bit, we'll turn it around right quick. These pedals are Fit Bike Co. PC pedals, unsealed. Most PC pedals are unsealed, even the aftermarket high-end ones are unsealed PC pedals. Bottom bracket, this is actually maybe something that helped me form my decision on this bicycle. A lot of complete bicycles and even some of the older bicycles that I purchased the kids beforehand, they had American bottom bracket instead of the mid sealed bottom bracket. This actually had the 19 millimeter sealed bottom bracket, which is lighter and just, I believe, stronger. The American one was kind of similar to this, where this black portion would be pressed into the sides of the frame. You'd have bearings in there, a lot of times loose ball bearing. These are sealed bottom brackets, so it's a lighter bottom bracket and probably more dependable. So that was definitely a selling point for me. Overall, I really dig the colorway on this bike. I love the two-tone graphics. I think that absolutely pops. I personally rode this bike around a little bit at a pump track for an event that we did not too long ago. And yeah, it feels pretty sharp. You do feel like you're on a hot rod a bit, which is always a cool feeling, So if you got a good looking bike, look good, feel good, right? So hope that my son really enjoys this bike as he's growing into the larger BMX bike, and whether that's freestyle or just kicking it around the neighborhood, he's gonna look real fly, and so am I when I borrow it and do some riding on it too. Anyway, I think that pretty much covered the bike check. If you got any questions or anything, hit them in the comments, hit me in the DMs, or just check out fitbikeco.com for the other Fit Bike Co completes. Like I said, this was one of a couple. I believe they had the SM, which is what this one was, the MD, the medium, and the LG, which I believe is large. So maybe different colorways for each of these. However, this hot rod red, it's got my eye, and I think it's going to catch a lot of other eyes too. So check it out online. Got any questions, holler. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Appreciate you watching. Peace.